Okay, so do we have to now,
Well,
like... Sorry, go ahead.
Quite a startling revelation, I must say.
So do we still have to, like, clarify how she got stabbed?
Yeah. Whoever thought of a third party transpanning the entire scene of a crime like that?
Yeah, really. Not me.
What the fuck? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused, Mrs. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly have committed this crime.
No, you wait. No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there's someone else. Another person could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back.
Joan Garrideb.
Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already.
Wolfenseats, is this true?
Yeah, he's not that dumb.
Very well.
Grumble, grumble.
Name the person, if you will. Any further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continue. He's actually like being very chill about this.
Yeah.
You will name this other person who could have perpetrated the crime.
Male Strongheart.
Male Strongheart. He's in attendance today as a member of the jury.
Alright.
Take that!
In your face! Wait.
Not the knife. The defense would once again to request the cross-examination of a new witness. Well, really?
Oh shit! Here we go again.
Once again?
Is naming her not enough? Do we really have to question her? My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case,
Joan Garrideb.
it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garrideb. Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
Hey, you said no objections.
Prosecution now has a problem with this. The request has already been denied.
We've been presented with new facts.
You have denied it on the assumption that there was still stuff to talk with the witnesses.
Yes.
There is not anymore.
Also, the entire situation has changed now.
Objection!
But the situation is very different now, thank you. It's like I've played these games before. Mrs. Garrideb, answer me this.
Riddle me this.
What do you want now, you little toad? You beanpole! At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. Joan Garrideb. Yeah, let's call it that. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garrideb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before? Oh! I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there in all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
What?
I object, Your Honor!
To yourself?
I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4.
Ooh. Oh.
Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process.
He really doesn't like the whole jury system, does he?
If you know something about this knife, ma'am, let the truth come out.
Oh,
Thus
the
Bruno
truth
Mars is
come
gay.
out.
Why did Von Zieks decide to take this case? Like the first one, it made sense because it was the very rich individual, but why this one? Like he came out of retirement to take the one with Mr. Leprechaun. But why did he go after this?
Okay,
one?
might be multiple reasons. Or I can think of two possible reasons. One, maybe because there was a policeman involved, directly involved. Or two,
Because it was male Strongheart who
I mean that's one possibility. Yeah, he Strongheart assigned him. Or it's about the victim, because we don't know anything about Olive, right? At this point, we just know what she looks like. So maybe
It's
she has
weird
she has something
because he clearly went after Mr. Leprechaun because he hated his guts.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But this case just makes no sense for him to get after we now know that wasn't like just a murder attempt. It was just a thing that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can assume that he has a very good reason for taking it.
This feels just so beneath him if he were to
exactly.
use like the Edgeworth and then Von Karma approach stuff. Like, why would one step up to try this?
Yeah, it's a bit odd. You're right. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? You're the maid, aren't you?
What's that?
You joking?
What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garrideb. The fuck you on about?
I don't know who that is. Oh. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. What about your husband?
I feel your husband.
Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife, if that's what you think. Come along now. Chop. Do your worst. Well, Mr. Naruto? If I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already.
And take the stand, juror.
Oh!
The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Lord Rensix.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to have to testify. Testify.
Juror number 4. As I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed with my own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even be aware.
Oh, dearie me.
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garrideb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord.
That is the weirdest thing. Why Von Zieks decided to take this case?
Yeah. I'm sure this will make sense eventually.
Like, the only thing that I can think of, because he didn't feel like he cared about any of the people involved.
Yeah.
The only two people that could make sense is Strongheart or the victim.
Yeah.
But he hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah. This is such a strange feeling and such a strange camera angle. Holy damn. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real.
Oh, that's a nice bag. That's a nice bag
I'm
from their
here.
outfit.
In the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Cosmo, do you see this?
Von Zieks is not looking at you.
No, he's looking. What is he looking at?
There's just a roach on the floor. Goodness. State your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garrideb. And I'm, well, mature and such like. It sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore.
The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case.
I'm thrilled to find out where the missing tip of the knife went.
Do you understand, ma'am?
Oh, yes, my lord.
You will tell the court. Well, you will tell the court anything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth.
Oh dear me.
Ooh, new animation. Chin up, Jody. Nothing to worry about now. Probably Mr.
Yeah.
Garrideb.
Hey, I was right
me.
after all. They are in the stand together. Look at it.
And he has his Medal of Honor.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. Aww.
Wasn't only you in the room that day. What thing was it?
Oh, that whole thing.
Another thing that I ought to testify as well, don't you?
What? What you need here?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly noticed.
Just got hit by a mortar shell. That's fine.
I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Wow. Oh, John.
I presume you are Mr. Joan Garrideb? Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant in the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir.
Okay, first of all, since this is British, and I have to educate here, it's Lieutenant and Northumberland.
Northumberland.
Yeah. Have you watched BBC
Former
Sherlock?
Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir.
Have you watched BBC Sherlock?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Watson actually served in the Northumberland Fusiliers, so
Northumberland.
yeah, it's the Northumberland Fusiliers. It's probably the only time he's gonna say that, but nah. Just thought I'd throw that out there, and yeah, the lieutenant thing is weird, but nah.
Seen my fair share of action, now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? We're not engaged in a incendiary battle, we just espoused in the day question.
Maybe they were fighting quietly.
Well, yes. Quiet. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British Corps. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Is the tip of the knife in like his pipe?
In the
Because
pipe,
there is
yeah.
like
I was thinking maybe it landed in.
there's a thingy. There's like a wrapping.
The
Garrideb.
Battle of Garrideb.
Well, that's the episode name. Sorry.
Well, yeah. All right.
Yes. On the day you're referring to, the wife and I did a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now.
Oh, I can recall the reason.
Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around that place. Can't say I noticed one or two went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think.
Right.
It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although, entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shouting us for another minute, we have made toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself. is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment.
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here?
Well, I must say, I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed, so tunnel vision? These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end.
He was too busy surviving. I think may well be right. We just have to find the tip. That's all. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruto. Yes, I'm afraid so.
Very well, Counsel. Begin your cross-examination.
That was a rather jarring, like, cut of the music right there. It was a weird place.
Yeah, everybody stop.
Can the orchestra in the gallery please stop playing now? Thank you. All right.
I like this little bounty leap.
Yes. All right. Can't recall the reason. Oh, I know. It was about a what was it? Love.
A love letter on a second-hand.
Yeah,
book.
like a love note in a used book. But like, who was it to? It was to James or something. Yeah.
It was to James or Jones.
The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe.
Can't remember.
Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garrideb found the note discovering her husband's little secret.
What? Secret?
He likes to read. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too.
What a sorry state of affairs.
Affairs.
Eleanor. I did not expect this child to have such a light-hearted final part.
Yeah, really, though.
Say, the chap says he can't recall such things. It's common decency not to drag it all up.
This is a court of law, sir.
And besides, half of it was wide off the mark anyway. I thought she was going to throw the
I like the story.
tea.
These waters run very deep.
And what transpired next after this multiple blows to the face?
More like who transpired. This man.
Can't say inside.
Hold it!
Alright. And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it?
The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine, really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out.
This was a directed assault, sir.
The most precarious situation you put yourself in.
Really, though.
Ours is a 3-story town. Wait, sorry.
I
Ours
never.
is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street, but the water main isn't connected yet.
I've never seen story spelled that way.
Story.
3-story.
Also, when they spell meters, it was METRE.
R-E. Yeah, well, that's a British.
Yeah.
That's center too, with like.
Yeah, that's probably the same thing. Story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You have to draw water from public water pump during the day if you need any. You see.
The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although that little mustached Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know. From his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man? I believe he uses all of his income to buy books.
Interesting that the fact that he's being like CO2 poison hasn't come up at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a weird case, even for
really.
Ace Attorney. Like, it feels like that should be more, but it isn't.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough.
I mean, are we gonna like maybe figure out why his place is haunted? I mean, he said his place was haunted, so like.
Yeah,
right.
That's because he's having
Exactly,
problems
because carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
All
And what
right.
is with Farquaad and Popeye? There's so much
Next-
to this case
next-
that seems
next
that
case.
there needs to be more.
Next case, I guess. Even though the room was on
Like-
fire.
So everything is going to be a carryover. That's going to be a weird next case.
Well, maybe not everything. I don't know if that gas thing has anything to do with anything.
Probably gonna be. It needs to be.
I don't know.
It's, maybe Farquaad is the next victim for some reason.
Oh no, maybe we're gonna have a carriage situation again and that the whole house is gonna explode.
Dang.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, because. Oh, do you think because of like Reaper of the Bayou, the house is gonna explode because of the gas, and we're gonna have to see if it was an arson thing? Because now that Von Zix went after Soseki Natsume, then technically he is marked for death.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't want him to die though.
Well,
Not that, like,
this is either gonna be interesting or a bummer.
yeah, really. Okay. As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw.
I'm deception. I'm deception. I'm disappointed that you didn't say it as she was drinking tea.
Right. I was briefly considering it, but I was like, nah, don't.
She's a really good puppeteer.
That is most certainly not true. This is how to take down Mr. Naruto. How did she know I was thinking that?
Drink this glass of water.
So please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge.
Yeah,
A napkin?
Oh,
Wow.
and he looks at his pipe.
What about your pipe, sir? What about the napkin?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb.
No, not you. Sorry. Beg your pardon?
I did not mean to cause you whiplash. I'm sorry.
It's just PTSD.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind?
Nothing of any significance. No.
The significance, I'll be the judge of that.
Insignificant. Just that the barrage of projectiles the other thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than the she implies. Bolts, bricks, and a fire poker, I seem to recall.
Okay. Honestly? Oof.
Oh god.
Ah!
What was that? Ah!
Oh shit.
Good grief, woman. You're not at home now. This is a court of law, and this is not a cup, this is a pipe.
Really though? Oh wait, 1 second. I think I have to plug in my controller. Oh, 1 second. There we go. Oh dearie me. I'm so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? Honestly, John, I
Stout.
would never have thrown such things at you, obviously.
Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened, hmm?
So it broke and you taped it back together, hey?
Your pipe, sir?
The singing pipe?
Singing pipes.
Laughing pipes.
At least staying in my hand as usual as the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did. Yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I like to see a sponge do that sort of damage.
I see. Your pipe was broken.
Broken pipes. It would never be sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Oh, you want to exaggerate, aren't you, dear?
Are you gonna take the pipe as evidence and the fragment is... It is significant.
Yeah, no, that's totally insignificant. The defense believes
Jesus
Mr.
Christ.
Garrideb's remarks is just now to be of great significance.
Objection.
No!
It is not significant. His words only tells one thing. Betray a fiery wife and pipes, as well as heart, may be broken. Jesus Christ. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed. Common sense, one might say.
Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Hmm? Oh, this whole thing. Oh, no say why not.
Alright. Oh dearie me, there you go again, trying to... Oh, ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
Very well then. The court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence.
Mr. Garrideb's pipe apparently it fell to the floor during a
Let's
domestic
have a look at the pipe.
dispute he had with his wife and broke.
Broken pipe.
Broken pipe. I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruto. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine. We have a pipe to look at now.
Oh,
Aha!
shit. Oh,
Aha!
sharp pipe.
Hello, pretty. Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. Yes, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake.
Oh, man.
What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. Looks like the tip of a blade or something. Does it now? The tip of...
Couldn't be.
Surely
what
it
it
couldn't
is.
be.
I like how they leave it open-ended, even though it's the obvious shit.
This small piece of metal looks like it might be the tip of a knife blade. It was stuck inside the bowl of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
Do you want to investigate the rest just for the flavor text?
Yeah, for good measure. It looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason it feels slightly ominous to me. Like it's trying to shout out a warning.
I'm sharp!
Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garrideb's dressing gown. I suppose it must have considered a sentimental value to Mr. Garrideb. Given that he's gone through the trouble of repairing it like this. Either that, or he can't afford to replace it. That's true.
No?
There's a small nick out of the bowl here, look. It appears to have been made relatively recently. Did she throw the knife like, is that where the knife hit it? Surely
I
not.
think maybe the knife hit it, he dropped it, and it fell funny.
Yeah. It appears to have been made relatively recently. And see how that little scrapes and dents all over it? It's clearly a well-loved pipe. Yes, you're right.
It has tea all over it for some reason.
Seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand in hand with getting some battle scars. This particular nick is catching my eye though. Because it's clearly new. Well, that it? Yeah, well.
I think we're gonna have a... Oh?
Nope, no, it's the bandaging.
No,
Okay.
no, it's the band.
Yeah, I thought it was a mouthpiece.
Do
Alright.
you think we can do any direct kiss with Mr. Garrideb with this?
Look, it's an elephant.
It's an acorn.
Slap some ears on that and you got an elephant. Wait.
Mr. Rossetti. It's a sharp thing.
It's a triangle. This is a tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
It's a piece of gray cake.
It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade.
Surely it can't be.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? I don't really know.
Don't you?
There's just something niggling me, but I can't quite put my finger on what it is. Perhaps in that case, it would be wise to examine some of the other pieces of evidence.
Okay, let's see if the flower has a broken piece of metal.
I finally got my silver YouTube play button, look!
Mazel tov.
Yay! Alright, yes, we should examine the new
I
evidence
want a
that we
piece
got.
of the saddest pizza of the world. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Garrideb. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter. What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Plenty of knives around the place. Until I noticed one or two went missing. Alright.
Sorry, would you care to elaborate?
Nothing to say, really. Rather partial in the sport of carving, you see. Pipes and whatnot. Fish and tackle. You know the sort of thing.
Oh, did you make the pipe yourself too? It's a passion we both share. I like to carve little wooden trinkets too. And then there's my leather work.
Sorry to say, we always lose the knives about the place. I have dozens of things.
They sell them at the market sometimes, 20 for the price of 19. Needless to say, I snapped them up. Joan prefers to use 2 knives at mealtimes too, instead of knife and fork. Really?
Hello, Joan. We don't need people thinking I'm so sorry.
Here we go again with the scaldings. Why are they being so evasive? Imagine it's because they didn't want to believe it. I can't bear the thought that it might have been one of their knives that injured the victim. Which is entirely understandable, of course. But still...
Go with the testimony witnesses. Sorry. Ball, I think, but have a job from you.
Hold it!
So you have no intention of admitting it was your knife, unless we can produce proof? What are you being so afraid of? Even though there is no other credible possibility of Mr. Nutsman is innocent?
Objection!
You forget, you might be Benny's friend. That it has yet to be established that the accused is not responsible for the attack.
As if I could forget. If only there was some way to know who had handled the knife.
If only.
If only. But I suppose wizardry is like that, it's just a dream. Perhaps you're thinking of fingerprinting, Mr. Naruto. What? You mean it's not a dream? That sort of wizardry really exists?
Yes, people have fingerprints missing or other.
Whenever people touch anything, they leave behind a unique pattern from their skin. Or so they say. But I can't see anything.
There are many countries in the world that these so-called fingerprints can be used as evidence. Which is why I use gloves. Lord Strongheart is currently discussing the matter of Ministry of Justice. Yes? I believe you are rapidly approaching a narrow scientific methods of investigation.
Possible outlook for the second game? But for now...
Like, look at the other side of the receipt.
Exactly. But for now, we shall have to find an alternative method of proving our assertion. That this knife found in the victim's pack was originally in Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. If only I could transplant this whole incident to several years in the future. That's the extent of their testimony, is it? What do you think, Mr. Naruto? Well, I think we've heard all this before, to be honest. I can't say I'm particularly confident that we'll be able to prove anything new from this testimony. I love this when you like...
It's kind of annoying when they do this. When they go, well, I'm sure we have no way of doing it.
It's a bit unfortunate that, you know, there's no like alternative text if you like, I don't know, examine evidence and have the crucial piece already in your inventory.
Yeah, if you have a piece in your inventory, instead of I can't say with confidence, at least say like, I have an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not confident it will work. At least that, because that says you have the right thing, just try it.
Yeah. But in this cross-examination, it's absolutely essential that we establish how this knife came to be at the scene of the incident. Yes, I know. I'm sure both of them must be feeling very worried. Worried that it was in fact a knife belonging to one of them that caused the victim's injury. If we could find even a tiny shred of evidence to support that theory...
Well, there is a tiny evidence.
It would clinch this trial for us. It would explain everything. Yes, it would.
Man, if only.
For Sosei-kyan's sake, we must. So he can drink. Yeah, and I guess for his sake too. We must find that last crucial piece of evidence.
¿Dónde está la evidencia? Never body of a time.
I guess it's the statement then.
Yeah.
Why am I going all the way to there? There we go. The fragment of metal.
Objection.
Mr.
Mr. Garrideb, could I ask you to take a good look at this, please?
You can ask, but I can't see a body thing.
Oh,
I need
sorry.
my
Is
glasses.
it too small? I'm sorry. You can't.
You used to call me Dad Dab back in the regiment, of course. But it was some time ago now.
What was that about you blowing up a barracks?
Even when I'm trying to enjoy a light preach book by the fire these days, I struggle to tell a B from a D and a B from a Q, to be honest.
Oh, he does. Terry meets rather wearing, being asked about every other letter and every other word.
In the next case, is gonna have like a little glasses, like the judge.
You must be very dizzy.
What is that? A tiny scrap of metal?
Yep. Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence.
Okay. Interesting. And why did the defense combine this evidence?
Did you not vigorously see me shake that
I
pipe?
was not looking at you.
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
A pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder that guy there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it's some sort of way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road?
I am.
Yee. What?
When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Look at his... Oh, God, the bloomers, though.
That was a really good, comedic timing. This is the one time in the whole case we were able to see that.
Sorry.
You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well then. Present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with these fragments of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case? The map!
What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? Oh. Well, I guess we know.
Take that!
Wheel of Fortune. Oh.
Yay! This is a knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there's a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing.
A combination with an inferior blade, so they're on savory street markets.
You mean where you can get 20 for the price of 19?
Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in the victim's bones. And what of this particular life? No doubt it's the best of a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection!
Nuh-uh.
No, fuck you!
No, that's not the case.
What?
The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
No!
Oh, my badge!
You shot me right in my back. Good grief. 116.
Is your badge okay?
Had a heart attack. It happens. I don't believe it. Wow, so much expression. Okay, so, nice JoJo pose. The knife of the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Good. Good golly gee gosh!
I also love how she's standing on a crate.
What is this some sort of Eastern sorcery?
That again? I can barely cast Firebolt. Stop it.
This is no magic, my lord.
This is science.
This is Sparta.
Or that.
This is the story of a girl. This is a miracle.
Okay.
Miracle?
So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he?
Council, explain the extraordinary coincidence at once.
Oh, yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is, when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony.
I was thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught sauce. Knocked it clean with one of the soft projectiles she did. Yes.
You do realize I can just add an echo on your...
Yes.
Okay. I can do that in post if you want.
It would never be sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Sorry, snakes.
Oh, no. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garrideb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garrideb, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time.
Which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord.
Yes, and that's when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garrideb's pipe.
The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1.
Well, examine the
He
pipe,
broke his pipe.
Look at the
His
nick.
pipe broke again?
and yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window.
Oh,
In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garrideb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh. Oh dear. Oh. No!
Objection!
no. Well, I don't like. You know what? I don't like this. Oh well, I must have drinking. Full body theory. I'll give you that. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points possibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument.
Sorry, I don't speak wine.
But after all, it's just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see, dirt, it's spoiled by insurmountable inconsistency.
Is that so? An insurmountable... What?
Well, Van Zeeks, explain yourself.
Why are you dragging this out any longer than it needs to be?
It was on his back. It was on her back. If he fell, then it would be on her.
Oh,
on
right.
her
No,
head.
yeah, you're right. That's the thing he's getting at, right? Oh, why
Yeah,
didn't
no,
it hit her
you
in
know
the head?
book.
Of
What is
course.
this inconsistency you claim to have
I
identified?
forgot. There's no common sense in this game. We have to clarify everything.
Yep. An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. My foot is stuck here.
Yeah.
The victim was, yep.
Yep.
Was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back.
Oh, sigh.
Well,
Yes.
now I
in
have
her-
to bisect this stupidity.
Really? Ow!
Ow!
That's right, you silly little man.
Oh, well. Heal quickly. Now, Joan, old thing, why are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that struck had fallen from above, yeet, there is no possible way it could have been planted itself into the victim's back. Oh, fuck's sake. Well, no, this is just the moment where we get railroaded into just pointing out the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Order!
Quite right, you see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. Well,
I love this attorney, but goddamn.
I'm just reminded of the circus case. The location of the ringmaster's head and all that, because he was struck by a box or something, if I remember right. And I think he was also like bending over at the moment. I don't know. What really did happen?
Why did they say I missed everything after my name is Oscar? It will appear the defense has made rather spectacular blunder.
I can fix this. Don't worry. Just give me the opportunity, and I'll tell you.
There's even one consistency you cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend. Even the music makes this so much stupider because it's
exactly. It's like this big
dramatic.
old drama.
Your theory, my learned friend, is history.
Oh no! Time for despair.
Into black.
No, we were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely. One simple inconsistency. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency. And the theory will stand. There's our optimism. Thank you.
The one person who understands common sense.
She's like, yeah, no way. No problem. We got this. It's fine.
Don't worry. Everybody here is stupid. Just say
Exactly.
the obvious
You
shit.
mustn't worry, Mr. Naruto. You were just caught off guard, that's all. And your mind went blank. But if the path you are on indeed is correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure, and all the information you need is there. Right. Of course. I have evidence.
You have no way. I win. It seems you have enough to say, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, I have a lot to say.
Well then, your silence speaks volumes.
Oh, volumes, you say? Speaking of, have you seen this volume?
A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed. No consistencies.
Oh.
Oh wait, did you see objection as you had your head on your hands?
Yeah, exactly.
Objection.
Just screamed it at the desk. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth.
Dude,
It's a
it's not that
test.
deep. Dude, it's just a book on the floor. It's not that deep.
Yes! If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is.
What are you implying?
I am implying abnormal circumstances.
Counsel?
There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness.
Madness.
Sparta.
Surely this must be the last time. I don't know. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak.
Sure, I got this.
Let's just go on the book. Let's not make a joke out of it.
This is the last inconsistency. The final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last.
Accidentally clicked the wrong thing at the last time.
The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is this. This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present.
One book. Is that not Mrs. Garrideb's book?
Yes, and to understand its significance, you have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand.
But as we all know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that.
Because he found it that way.
Why so? As part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road.
That's true. However, as part of his testimony, Constable Veed made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand?
That's because that's how I found it. When I first went over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So I moved everything and made sure it was still in her hand.
In other words, the victim had already picked up the book of her own volition. And clearly, that must have been before she suffered the knife wound.
Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she had been doing much of anything.
So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand?
My jingo!
By who now?
My Django! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh dearie me.
Wait, so she bent down to pick the book. We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garrideb household on the pavement below. At precisely the moment that the victim was walking past.
Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw? Yes, Mrs. Garrideb. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up. Yes, that is exactly what the woman in fact did. She picked up the book.
Oh, you.
Oh heavens! And when the woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? Consider
the most stupid dramatic scene so far.
Exactly, it's like I said, it's the location of the ringmaster's head. That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over, picking up the book. That's rather dramatic. The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume.
I never.
It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. Oh!
The other direction. The constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place.
No. This was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb? The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
We
Poor Mrs. Garrideb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? Oh.
My fault, I grabbed the book.
I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book, and I threw the knife as well. John, dear.
It's alright. I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry!
Oh, she said sorry.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, he cannot grab her like the photo of her.
Oh, you
leg.
got it. You got it.
Oh,
No, you got
hey,
it.
we got a second.
You got it. I believe in you. Oh, no. He tried.
And the old man still thinks guilty.
The old man did not hear any of this.
Lord Van Zeeks, my news on Mrs. Garrideb.
And Mr. Garrideb's back.
She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's event had left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated.
She awake now?
She's dead. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon.
Yay! It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. Wonder why. How wonderful. The woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, that is good news.
So, Mrs. Soseki Natsume.
That's Ume. Ghost! Ghost! Ghost!
You should be at least a little bit better after not having breathing carbon monoxide so long.
True.
Yes. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from a distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture. You have been repaid with immeasurable kindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. Fucking. No, it is me who should have been begging your pardon.
Oh no, Mr. Natsume.
That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead.
Yes, Constable Pete said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she'd been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless.
It's been about a year since I have been in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me.
That's just the gas talking. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Yes, poor man.
So when it happened, I thought a young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped the boats like that and run away. I should have gone for help, for a doctor, for the police. Instead, I managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry.
Watch him do a bow now and hit his head on the railing there. No?
You never made a P alliteration. Hey, Mr. Garrideb is there now.
Huh.
One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think.
Something like that.
One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by the spirit and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken, and the spirit exorcised. Until the next case, when your house explodes. I heartily commend you both.
Oh.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, hello. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decision regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of the jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare, the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, at least suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Aye. Sitting in front of the old bean while she's out of action, you know. But I know what her decision would be.
Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time.
Actually, I have a court of charges out against you when I get home one time.
Yeah.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Ah, what a sight to behold.
I want to submit your examination.
Objection!
Well, Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty.
Not
Not guilty.
guilty. Haha.
Not guilty.
Woohoo! There's the fireworks again.
Fire!
Oh no!
This was a trial. And finally,
Making a huge
Mr.
here.
Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord, sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you continue to further your education in British culture. He doesn't want to do British culture, and may you never again be brought before me.
Does that mean he's gonna have another thing?
Yes, sir, of course.
Why do I think he's gonna be the defendant again in the future? Just because of that one line. May you never be in front of me again.
His house will explode.
Uh.
Oh my life, his soul never set foot in a courtroom again.
Okay, now I'm
Either
convinced.
that or he's going to be the jury in the next one.
He'll be back.
It's part of the tears.
Oh.
We never got a P at the race. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned.
Sigh of relief.
Fucking hell.
20th of February, 3:17 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendants, antechamber.
Oh, Loku.
Wait, you mean me?
Of course. Is there another locum here?
Is there even is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name?
Oh, alas, I'm free. I'm free. Joyful joy and jubilation. Happy, hearty, happiness, hurrah! Woo!
Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted. Would it be so hard to just say that then?
Logan, you did it! You saved me from the brink!
Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now.
No, not that! lovely lawyer, local lawyer.
Yes.
I mean, as I said before, I'm just never used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. I see trees. And from my weapons, I see them looking down at me, laughing. Look at the little hunchback.
Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Huntsman.
Zombie. But today, your local lawyer gave me my Conde boot. You stood firm behind the Bologna bench before those babbling baiters. You battled to the waiter and laid bare in the bathroom too. When I beheld the blinding fireworks almost the big of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed. Behold the best barrister ever born!
Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you.
This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount my old friends back in Japan.
An anecdote? Is that what's to become of all my hard work? Oh, Sholmes?
Ah, there you are, dear fellows.
Hello!
Hey! I apologize for keeping you waiting. I was late this morning.
Did you just get up?
I overslept.
It's 3 p.m. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you.
I see I'm here not a moment too soon. Our disasters have been averted. I'm glad to say.
And no thanks to you.
Did he actually help his... Oh, the trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruto. We should have asked for luck.
It's 3 p.m., Sholmes. It's just finished.
What? No. My haste was in vain. Haste. It's you! Sherlock Holmes! Oh? Have we met, sir?
What? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes?
I see. I failed to recognize you at first.
You know, with bars and without bars in front of you?
Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or the prison cell.
Well, that's fair enough. He does look
I
different
didn't
in
notice you without the drab environment.
Exactly.
I see the could place a curious face in the light.
You look different in light, yeah. Charming.
This is all your fault, Sherlock Holmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you, please do. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off and fuck it out.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I see me taken to the hospital more urgently. I feel perhaps you will have regained consciousness by now. Oh. That. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human, after all. Anyone of me is shaken by such an experience. No. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it that he wanted to say to me, sir? Wow, he just dragged him and was like, well, excuse me, what were you saying? Nothing. Priceless. Oh, I'm sorry. Really, but... That was quite priceless.
Poor Soseki-san.
So, on the bright side, you had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny.
Now you're starting too with the alliteration? Stop.
And it would seem we're not even found guilty. 2 for 2.
That was me who did that, by the way.
But there's no bright side. You'll sue against the demon of the bayou, whatever the name is.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume?
Reaper of the bayou.
Yeah, maybe?
Even after this, I'm still cursed. by the spirits and now by the Reaper.
Ah, Lord Renzeeks.
I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing them in court means.
I'm praying for you.
If you're found not guilty, you're still doomed.
Doomed! It will be alright, Mr. Huntsman. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you. Hiya! Do I look like a Reaper to you? With a perfectly executed Sasato takedown.
I like how the bailiffs did nothing.
Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Mr. Sato.
Are you okay?
So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan?
Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon.
Oh,
It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to stay home and tell my fellow countrymen about it.
how about you write a couple books? That's very touching, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, in perhaps less fair terms. You wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
That's not it at all!
You sure?
Wait, so is he gonna try to leave and then the house is going to explode? The more this strange feeling claws in my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own.
Oh yeah, right. I meant to bring this up. This was actually before he wrote I'm a Cat. Right, so he wrote that after he after this.
Yeah, this case like has a lot of stuff. Like, I know that he becomes the writer, but also he has a cat. He's being poisoned.
Yep.
There's Farquaad and Popeye.
Exactly.
There's so much about this case that is going to carry over for some reason.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read.
And what about Mr. Sato and Miss Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo?
Sorry, who? What about us?
Will you return to Japan alongside your mustache compatriot?
Dude, I just arrived here 3 days ago. I don't think so. Why would we?
Yeah, literally 3 days ago.
A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London. We haven't even done some sightseeing yet. And only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet. Why is everyone alliterating? Stop it.
And we're accommodated in a hotel at present, are we not?
That's
Is he
right.
going to invite us to live with him?
I hope so. That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted.
Well, you could take my lodgings. You know,
Pass.
the one where you can breathe in.
Hard pass. Oh, the windowless room?
Ah, but well, X in Windows, it more than makes up for a floor, a ceiling, and walls.
Great!
As a cat. Of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit.
Oh my, an evil spirit?
Oh yes. He tries to suffocate you while we sleep.
There we go.
It's an infallible wake-up call.
There it is. Finally. Finally.
Is Sean's gonna say?
We'll think about it if that's alright.
Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me?
Yes. Really?
I have a double bed.
Yes.
Sato can be on the couch. Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself,
Wait, did Iris move out?
so it is up in the attic.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Are you sure it isn't just the storage loft?
I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room last week.
Oh, nice.
You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of.
Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to take lodgings in the Great Detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words.
Oh,
So,
Roger.
suggesting we
No.
look elsewhere is out then.
then it is settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume. I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you. And yes.
Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. I shan't take long. Somebody's happy.
Locust. I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Oh, so is he gonna like have dinner with us and while we're having dinner the house explodes?
We'll see, I guess.
I'm just like waiting for the house to explode.
Yeah, that would be so, I don't know. I mean, it would fit with the theme.
I
But
hope the cat leaves the house before it
oh
explodes.
yeah. Likewise, Mr. Natsume, it's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon.
Well, I come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we meet again one day.
Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer.
Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. Hopefully by then, I'll continue being a successful detective. Oh, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived.
How can you tell that from in here?
Sorry, go, Mrs. Naruhodo?
Yes, Mr. Sholmes.
I have little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening.
Oh, god damn it. And so, with still 6 cents innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street.
That's it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, free garlic.
I was about to say.
Okay, that looks interesting.
It is a very nice space. Ooh, nice parallel.
I got a spade, I got a mop, some rugs. So this is to be our new office. Okay, yes. Our office? I really like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now.
Oh, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Oh my god.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
Wow,
Yes.
I haven't seen fan art of this.
Thank you so much. It's a delightful outfit, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it.
Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you.
I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie, you can be in charge of the salad. Splendid.
Oh, I thought she named the gun Susie. I was like, wait, how does that work?
No.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel
It's a little bit tight in my pants, but otherwise... Oh.
to have your own office in the capital?
Oh, well, it's a little tight around my pants, but it's very exciting, actually, in my pants. I'm kind of wondering what adventures await us.
Those are precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at this premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is.
Oh, the dark underbelly. Sorry.
London is a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows.
Hey, nice. Shadows? What do you mean?
Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies beneath London's facade already.
Yeah. People keep dying.
So, once again, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London. We just hear an explosion in the background.
Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. One second.
That dies off screen.
Oh no! Fuck!
Welcome to episode 1 of Shar's, the greatest
Shut up, I'm back!
walkthrough.
I just dropped the controllers all.